Saint Augustine used to say that the world is like a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. The importance of traveling has been considered to be very huge, and therefore one of the most significant industries of a country is tourism, which provide the opportunities for tourists to visit a country, to see the beauty, to learn about the culture, and to get to know the people. Today, I would like to talk about the potential value of tourism in Vietnam. In my presentation, I will try to cover four main points. Firstly, the advantages of Vietnam concerning tourism. What we have that will help us to develop tourism in the future. The current situation of development. How has tourism been going on? What have we been able to achieve? Certain problems that we are having, and finally the solutions to those problems. Let's come to the first point, the advantages. Vietnam has such a lot of natural beauty as well as architectural beauty. Our culture is also diverse and the people are friendly and hospitable. I will go into each point with details. First of all, nature. The natural beauty of Vietnam is very much diverse. There is a wide range of beautiful scenery throughout the country. There are the terraced fields in the highlands. There are many caves around the country like the Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng cave. And there is the Ha Long Bay, which has recently been recognized by UNESCO as one of the world's seven wonders. The new seven wonders. It is a very beautiful work of nature. If you have chance, then I would really recommend you coming here to visit this beauty of our homeland. Also, our climate is the tropical climate. We're in the tropical climate zone. It's very hot. As you can see, in these past few months the weather has been really scorching hot. If you just stay in your room in the afternoon, it's gonna be like hell. With such climate, our beaches are perfect for sunbathing and having fun during the summertime. It attracts a lot of Westerners. They seem to have a very much attraction for the hot climate in our country. The animal kingdom in Vietnam is also varied. There are thousands of species of animals and thousands of species of plants all over the country. There are many eco-tourism areas. For example, the picture you see on the screen is taken from the Cần Giờ resort area. Here, tourists will have a chance to go back to nature and see what the natural beauty is really like. The architectural beauty of Vietnam. There are many buildings, ancient and new, that offer tourists and travelers such a glimpse at how beautiful our country is. The Notre Dame Church in the very heart of Saigon City. This is an old place. It has a very classical aura around it, and it is a must-see area. It's a must-see site for anyone who comes to Saigon. Also, in Phat Diem, there are the stone churches, which were created when the first priests ever set foot on Vietnam. These are magnificent structures that if you have chance, please visit them. Also, there's the old town of Hội An. If you come to this place, you have a chance to experience the life, how it was pretty much like in the past. This old town gives you a chance to somehow visualize the way life was in the past. It is well preserved. The culture of Vietnam is also varied. There are 54 ethnic minorities, each with its own unique cultural characteristics. and there are a lot of activities going on every year, throughout the year. For example, the Hung King death anniversary, which takes place on October 13, lunar calendar. Everyone celebrates this festival throughout the country, and you can take a trip back to the place where this festival first came into being. Also, there is a lot of singing and dancing, traditional. For example, what you see in the picture is the kind of singing called Quan Họ Bắc Ninh in Bắc Ninh province. There is also the buffalo fight in the district of Do Sơn. This is a very famous fight in which two buffaloes will be chosen to fight each other. The dead one will be eaten, and the one who wins will also be eaten. It is part of the ceremony. Vietnamese people are so friendly. 90% of all the cases you will see a smiling face on everybody. We are very friendly toward tourists, and we are hospitable toward them. We would most likely treat them like family members, offer them accommodation and guidance and any kind of help that they would ever need. In all, we have such a lot of advantages. There are so many things that can help us develop tourism in our country in a very effective way. So, how is tourism developing in Vietnam? What have we been able to do so far? Let us take a look at certain figures, some numbers about what we actually have been able to do. Reports have shown an increase in the influxes of tourists per year, and also there is an increase in revenues from tourism. The chart that you are going to see shows the increase in the number of tourists visiting Vietnam within the period a time span of 20 years. You can see in 1990 there were only 25,000 influxes of tourists who came to Vietnam. The number rose to 1 million after 4 years in 1994. After 10 years, that number almost doubled to 2.2 million influxes. And then the number continued to rise to 5.5 million influxes of tourists in 2010. So after a period of 20 years, we can see that the number of influxes coming to Vietnam has increased by 200%. Also, there is an enormous values in the money taken from the industry of tourism. This graph shows that in 2008, $3,930 were gained from tourism. It dropped down to $3,050 in 2009, and then it rose up again to a higher number, $4.4 thousand in 2010. We can see this is a lot of money extracted from tourism. So we can conclude that there has been a very strong increase in the activity. Tourism has been boosting, has been blooming in our country. However, a recent survey has been conducted into the attitude of tourists toward the country of Vietnam. And surprisingly, 85% of all of the people who participated in the survey said that they would not return to our country a second time. So the question is, why? There are certain problems that may have caused these tourists to feel so bad about our country. The first problem is the impact of nature. The second problem is the insufficient investment. The third problem is an inadequate social security in our country. The first problem is the impact of nature. The most prominent impact of nature is rain. There is so much rainfall every year, and especially during the rainy season. Rain comes down, it may result in flooding, and where there is flooding, traffic is congested. It is very difficult to move around, especially with motorbikes and bicycles. You can see in the pictures, even Vietnamese people find it hard and challenging and pretty annoying to move around this kind of traffic condition. Flooded streets. How can tourists withstand this? The second problem is insufficient investment. Many popular destinations are down and out. They are of very bad quality. They are crowded. People have to queue for very long before they can actually buy a ticket, before they can get serviced. Rubbish is everywhere. There are not enough trash bins on the streets. There are not enough places for people to go and have a happy time. I'm talking about toilets. In all, facilities in our country are not very well taken care of. And the final problem is the inadequate social security. The first to mention are the street vendors. They will try to nag tourists to buy things that they don't want to buy. When you go on the street, especially around the Ben Thanh market and the District 1 area, you will see these street vendors running around after the tourists and trying to persuade them to buy souvenirs and magazines and books and whatever. These tourists are totally repelled by these vendors. Many beggars abound in the streets. There are so many of them. This impose a very negative image of tourism in Vietnam. Traffic in Vietnam is terrible. Everybody seems to be going in their own way. There are no rules. They don't stop at red light. They go whenever they want to. They stop whenever they want to and wherever they want to. They move on the pavement. They honk all the time. It is very annoying to travel, and it may be dangerous to cross the streets during rush hours. Robbery is another problem. Robbery has been on the increase in recent months. We have seen newspapers reporting cases of robbery everywhere, in Ho Chi Minh City, in Hanoi City, in provinces. And the robbers have been more fierce. They would take you down. They are ready to hurt you and even to kill you in order to rob your properties. Recently there has been a couple from Hong Kong. They had their passports taken away from them by some scooter robbers. And you can see on the side they say, just watch out for professional scooter robbery. They are afraid. Tourists are in danger when it comes to Vietnam. With such a problem, surely the travelers, they draw a fine line at coming to our country. Who would want to come back to a country like that? So far we have taken a look at three major problems. So what are the solutions to these problems? For the first problem, the impact of nature, there is almost nothing that I can do because it is the power of nature. How can you change the weather though? For the second problem, insufficient investment, the only way to solve it is to add in more investment. Spend more money to build popular destinations, renovate the old places, build more toilets, clean the toilets, add in more trash bins to parks. Pay the social workers to clean the streets every night, every day. Plant more trees in the cities, everywhere. We should show the tourists that we have the best facilities to serve them. For the last problem, inadequate social security, one way is to improve the quality of our police force so that all the robbers will have to meet justice. Another way to solve the problem is through education. We have to teach our children to respect the law and respect other people's lives, not to rob from other people. They should learn the value of labor. So in all, I have been talking about the potential of tourism in Vietnam. Surely there are such a lot of advantages that will help us develop tourism, including natural beauty, architectural beauty, the people are friendly, and there is a variety of cultural values in our country. And we have seen an increase in tourism activities. However, tourists have a very negative attitude toward our tourism. Certain problems come from nature, from the insufficient money that is put in tourism, and from the terrible social security in our country. And I have also suggested certain solutions to this problem. I hope that I have provided you with certain information that may be helpful for you when you consider recommending your foreign friends to come to Vietnam. And also the younger generation, we ourselves, we should put in a lot more effort in order to make this place, to make tourism in our country develop even better. Thank you.